Is this thing on? No. But today we are gonna be playing the Stanley Parable. It gives me a choice to choose a language. So I'm guessing. Choice about it. I'm gonna fuck them. Wait, no, actually I do. I hear in my head, they come for me, they understand. They talk to me. Okay. God damn. This is kind of pissing me off. Hold up. Actually, I just fix it later. I mean, it kind of looks uneven. It's kind of pissed me off. That's why. I got some stories to tell you guys. Count for me, they and they talk to me. Alright, no more time for messing around. We're gonna actually play. Confirm. Have you played the Stanley Parable before? No, I haven't. Please adjust the slider until the computer is very big. That's gonna fuck me up. I put 958, but I put 858 again. I mean, it's just an hour back for me. Okay, let's start this thing. Okay. Never the end. It's never the end. Oh, fuck.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked
fucking
for a company in a
that's
big
gonna shit on me, not
where
gonna lie.
he was employee number 427. Employee number 427
I'm just trying to fucking fix my mic.
was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Damn, bruh. That was it. Watch this shit. Yeah.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
How come this bitch got a window and I don't? That's fucking bullshit. Like, what the fuck? Okay, we're just making sure, like, it's not muffled. No, okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Let me follow the instructions first, and then I'll fucking break the rules later.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
How to solve this dispute with the worker? Lay a ball up inside you, resent co-workers for not supporting you more. Damn. Using slides to assure employees that everything is okay, and make sure the slide is slick, blue graphic, and the header and those. Okay. Everyone's unique. You most of all. Now where's the slide? Charts and slides. Damn. Array which charts the same slide. Okay, you know.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
What happens if I want to stay in this broom closet? Fucking narrator, you big bitch.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow. Just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
Okay. Sometimes I just want to cry on the inside in the corner. Show me.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA. Are you really still in the broom closet?
Yes.
Standing around doing nothing? Why?
I'm not doing nothing.
Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
I don't see how long you can be here for.
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it. Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite." I hope your friends find this concerning. Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid.
Oh,
He
hell
probably
nah.
got the job
Don't call me
because of a
fat and
family
ugly,
connection.
bitch.
That's how stupid he is.
Y'all hiding
They're
behind
all
fucking
drug
narration,
money.
bitch.
Also,
Don't ever
Stanley's
disrespect me.
addicted to drugs and hookers.
No, I'm not, bro. Damn, this motherfucker called me a drug addict and addicted to hookers, bro.
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about
this
to leave
motherfucker called me fat, ugly, and I'm addicted to drugs and hookers. Damn,
shut down your central nervous
ever,
system, and you collapsed
don't
in front of
ever
your screen.
disrespect me, narrator.
Well, in a
I can't
situation
be in the
like
broom closet,
the
bitch.
responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
Now give me and shoot me at least, bitch. I'm still gonna stand here. When it hits the 16-minute mark. Okay.
Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Let me listen to him, cause he called me fucking fat. He called me fat and ugly, big bitch. You're probably a big ass narrator.
Stepping into his
fat
manager's
ass
office,
bitch.
Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
I fucker, like, what Sim Conscious is? Are we fucking Moon Knight? Remember when you tried to kill me twice? Oh, how we laughed and laughed, except I was not.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Hold up, I'm trying to fix my mic. Damn.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Bro, like, the sun is beaming in my fucking face. Hold on, gotta go mute real quick. My I'm just I'm trying to fix my mic stand, but I'll fix it later. So I'm gonna have to talk with my shit.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
This motherfucker monitoring my shit.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? was the proof, the heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Damn, bro. So this shit's been making me emotionless. Nah, I gotta put a stop to this shit. I gotta put a stop to this shit.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Damn, bro.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
That's tough. I mean, there's probably more, though. I'm chasing a goal. Do I look like him? Fuck.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Speedrun, achievements. Achievement speedrun.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Speed run.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
What you mean violent death? Oh, now I'm scared.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
I'm ready, bro, for death. Oh, damn. I'm actually dead.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Damn, bro. Man doesn't give a fuck.
Oh. Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Psych? Bitch. Think you kill me?
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
On God.
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Damn, bro, so you mean to tell me that I was dead? There you go. Ouch. Fuck. My fucking mic. But, like, that's the point, bro. Like, no matter what path we choose, bro, death is meaningless. You have to make the path for you in order to die a happy life. That's scary. So do I need to restart from the beginning? So this is the death ending. Oh, shit.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Damn, but do I like...
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to, you can stop the program before they both fail. Turn off your PlayStation. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
I mean, I can't fucking turn on my PlayStation. I'm streaming. Like, I would. But, you know, I'm streaming. So I accept this death. Like, how you gonna tell me that I had to turn on my shit? Or you gonna just told me to restart. I will restart. You feel me? Okay. So that was the escape.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it
I mean,
mean?
I probably need to actually...
Stanley
like,
decided to
turn
go
off
to the
my shit,
meeting
but,
room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
You know.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. "I'm dreaming!" he yelled. "This is all a dream." Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
Yeah, what the fuck?
Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine.
Yes, I am normal.
I am okay.
Period.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I'm real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Oh my God, fuck you, narrator.
This bitch. This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
I'm a woman? I'm a woman?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her
Damn, I got cooked,
But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, For just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Damn, bro. This is interesting.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of two open... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
No, fuck you, narrator.
I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself.
No, I'm making a decision by myself. Fuck you,
I'm asking for... This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life.
Her?
She's been waiting.
Ooh. Oh, motherfucker.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
I can't. Oh, there you go. Damn. I see the light. Take me there.
Oh, Stanley, is that you?
Oh,
hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep
the
you waiting.
huss.
I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
This motherfucker,
Gotcha.
bro.
Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife?
Okay, fucking narrator. That's why I'm not listening to you,
I'm trying to make a point here,
dumbass.
Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
No, fuck you, cunt.
Sorry, but you're in my story now.
Oh, hell nah. I thought you were the
This is a very sad
huss.
story about the death of a man named Stanley.
I'm dead now, bitch. Fuck you.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do.
Oh, fuck you, narrator.
Now he's
Eat my
pushing a
ass.
button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures.
I'm going
From behind
crazy.
his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
I gotta spend the time with the boys, spend time with them boys.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Narrator, you're a fucking cunt.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed.
Fuck you,
the longer he spends here, the more invested he gets. The more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this. That in this world he can never be anything but an observer. That as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it. You see? Can he just not hear me?
Yeah, fuck you,
cunt.
I'm not listening
that
to
he'll
you.
understand that every second
I'm not listening to you.
He's electing to kill himself.
No, yes, I want to.
See what I see?
In game,
How
of
can
course.
I make him look at himself?
Fuck you. Let me out.
I suppose I can't. Not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose.
No,
I'll
we
try
are
once
different.
more to convey all
Stupid.
this to him.
Ooh.
I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Shit. The fuck? So I died? But the rules say that it's never the end.
message to let you know there's a few things I need you to pick up on your way home from work today. We need milk, cereal, dish soap, spaghetti, get a thing of sugar, some bread, and coffee beans, whichever ones you like. I'll give you a call if there's anything I forgot. Thanks, sweetie. See you tonight.
Damn, narrator's playing me, bro, with the voice of the Hus. What the fuck is in there? Oh, it's just me going around.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
No, fuck you.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
I don't want to listen to him.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Fuck you.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go,
Yeah, what? What?
From here, it's,
Uh-huh.
left.
Hey, you couldn't even fucking...
Oh, no. No, it's to the right. My mistake.
This dumb motherfucker.
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's
Fuck
clearly...
you, narrator.
Oh, dear. Would you hold on for a minute, please?
No, fuck you.
Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep. Okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
This bitch pisses me off. He knows what he's doing, bro. He knows what he's doing.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh.
Damn,
Who
bro.
am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay.
No guarantees.
From the top.
No guarantees.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I feel like I went through everything already.
When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change?
Yes.
Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you
Hell
move
no.
the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here
Yeah,
just
you
a
dumb
minute ago.
bitch.
I know for sure that it's here
You're a
somewhere.
dumb bitch.
Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
I'm like Cody Rhodes, but let's go find it, bro.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again?
If you want,
well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
This is funny. This is the reason why I like this game. It's like so creative in its own way.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Okay, yep, it's worse.
Damn, bro.
I'm remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything? Aha! I knew we missed something.
Why is this so loud? This game is so loud in my ear. Like, I can't even, like... That bitch scares me every fucking time, bruh.
Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Oh, hell no.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct?
No.
Do you remember, Stanley?
No.
Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win!
Yeah!
Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job.
Thank you, narrator. Finally.
Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win.
Man, fuck
Some
you,
people
cunt.
win fair and square, and this
Yeah,
was
I
not
want
one
fair
of
and
those
square.
situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time.
What you mean? No, you don't. No, you don't. Fuck. Man, restart for no damn reason, bro. Doesn't let me win. The Stanley Parable
I've got a
Adventure
solution.
Line.
This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
I mean, I don't think we're going the right way.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Yeah, play music right now. There you go. At least something's playing, bro. It's just so quiet without music.
Wait, cut the music.
Bruh.
Go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story.
What am I looking
Make
at?
sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
I don't even know what I was looking at. You want to look at this painting? I don't know. Anyways.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell? Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you,
bro.
after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Am I following the line again? Alright.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story?
You right?
Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
I bet. Something we're all agree on there.
Yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
Alright, bet. Big booty bitches in my face.
No, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
I bet.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
I mean, I can't pick the right door. I mean, left door.
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times?
Damn.
That's really how all this goes? It's all determined?
Yes.
So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really... No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
Damn. What the fuck just happened? I'm just letting him fucking talk. And me and my man's got cooked, bruh. Sorry, I'm just trying to get used to my mic stand.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
New content, bro. You feel me?
Hello, and thank you for playing The Stanley Parable
Ultra Deluxe.
As you may know, The Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Alright. Ouch. I keep fucking hitting my knee on the fucking desk.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure. Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
On the way to make content. On the way.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
I bet.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
I'm having fun with this. 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That was fun while it lasted. I can jump in this game.
Is that it?
Yes.
Surely
yes,
that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more.
Yeah, of course there's more. Why else would we be in the fucking elevator?
I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is. That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me.
Now you know how it feels, bro.
This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's trophies, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test trophy, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable.
That's cancel culture right there, bro.
It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm
those
afraid.
Twitter
It could
people,
never have
bro.
lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Ouch. Fucking hit my hand, bro. That shit hurt.
Stanley, come over here. In the vent.
Finally, me and the narrator comes to an
something.
agreement or something. Now we team up against the new content, bruh.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be.
Yeah.
So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret.
Damn.
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Yup. Even though I'm on console, but slay.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley
Damn,
Parable
bro.
was
This
before it was
shows how
solid with a
old
cheap
this game is.
PlayStation port? Remember back in October of 2013
Fuck you, cunt.
when the game originally launched?
No,
Back
okay.
then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Damn, it takes me back, bruh. Achievements, dude. $1. Like, just seeing this, like, brings back a lot, bro, of the Steam era of my gaming career. Like, obviously, I'm on console, but, like, once I save up from the computer, like, it's back to that Steam era. But, like, goddamn. This game is, like, showing us, like, what it's like to play games back in the day, dude. It's just amazing.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now.
The husk?
A lifeless husk.
The husk?
With an hour of
The
new
lifeless
elevator
husk?
content.
As a game developer, I feel like this took a while for it to
Here's another
be a
moving
fucking
passage,
game.
this time from GameSpot.com.
My God, GameSpot,
The Stanley
bro.
Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content.
I mean, if it was perfect, it would have been 10 out of 10.
Transport it in pristine condition along to the PlayStation. Boom, done. And they couldn't even do that. Couldn't resist the urge to go meddling with a beloved franchise. These were simpler times, Stanley.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't give to go back to have it all over again.
I thought I saw footsteps. I thought I saw footsteps. I
don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh, no. Oh, God, no, Stanley. It's a collection of reviews from Pressurized Gas, the extremely popular online storefront for computer games. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here.
Yeah, because you were looking at the good reviews.
Were glowing as well, weren't they? Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Yeah, my man getting cooked though. My man getting cooked.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can.
Yes, you are preachy.
This is actually quite shocking for me. I always, well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks are my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
Nah, but like, those ratings, bro, is what makes you a good fucking game, bro. Because it shows what you need to improve on and shit. And that's the same with life, bro. That's the same with life. So I know how you feel, narrator. I know how you feel.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button.
Damn, bro.
A skip button?
Yes.
Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Just got home from church.
Hi, Rap. Welcome back. Oh, welcome. I'm just playing this Stanley Parable. Hold on, I did not see your comment, but like... I'm just playing the Stanley Parable, so...
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treat.
Skip you.
Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's
Yes.
the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof. Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it?
I'm doing good. I'm
I do
just
suggest
chilling.
we not press the button again. I think
My
the
nose
skip
is
button
feeling
has been
stuffy, but I'm just trying to
demonstrated,
like.
and we can say goodbye to it.
I'm just trying to play
Wait,
games that aren't like
how do we get out of here?
too main
Where does
focused,
the door go?
so I can
Wasn't there
just
a door
reach
that
out
led into
more.
this room? I do feel quite certain that there was one.
Fuck you. Fuck you, narrator.
Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times, and there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. Oh, Stanley, you're back.
Oh, damn.
Back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just...
Bro, I don't
it's
even
always
talk. I
been.
can't even speak. So
Me talking,
you've been talking to
you saying
yourself
nothing.
already. Skip.
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and...
Damn, bro. Hello, narrator? Come here, give me a big fat juicy kiss. But yeah, I'm doing good. Just been playing this game for an hour, so. Is that someone's fire alarm?
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their
Don't take it to
pitiful
heart, my man.
demands. But then, he's talking
Don't
too
take
much.
that shit to
They said,
heart.
first, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency.
Damn.
It's the lack of accountability. It's the unwillingness to examine with an
Skip you, huh? Sorry, I'm just making sure you can hear me. But again, I've been doing good. Been chilling. Damn, bro.
The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never
Oh,
the
shit.
end, is never the end, is never the end.
It's on some
is never
retro
the
shit.
end, is never the end, is never the...
Hell no. You got me fucked up. You got me fucked up. I'm just gonna keep pressing X. Damn, why did this game get scary? It was all happy, jolly and shit.
Stanley, Stanley, Stanley,
Nope, nope, nope. I'm free. Days are finished. Someone else set me free. I don't even know where I'm going, but I'm out. Can I still press the skip button? Yeah, but again, I'm just trying to get used to streaming more, because especially when I try to post content more, obviously because of TikTok banning shit. But you know,
wait, Stanley thought to himself, am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? They never stopped. Surely I was mistaken. Oh good, you noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Hey, you better show me some new content, narrator. This war is so far-fetched. You gotta show me something new.
Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it.
But how are you, Rap?
Even further,
how was church?
Which is why I'm very proud to announce
I'm glad you prayed today.
Ever,
you feel me?
The Stanley Parable 2. Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly port with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions.
That's good, at least.
This is what fans have truly been asking for.
I mean, that's what church does to you, right? It makes you cry.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2
because I did that before. I used to go to church.
Deluxe, don't you think?
It was like a family church.
What does it even mean?
I was forced to go, but like, there were some moments where I cried.
An artistic statement right
like,
there.
I just like the
it screams
messages that people give in there.
And long-term franchising potential.
Really like. It
now,
really hits different,
I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been
people's
developing
messages
for it.
on like life.
I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful
it's just really
concepts,
heartwarming. That's what I like about church sometimes.
Spring up
it's
around
the messages that people give
out.
about
Game
like,
development is much more of a fuzzy magic than here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features. For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually
it's not the size that matters.
validated as people.
It's not the size of the button that matters.
My first addition to the game is this button, which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is.
Damn.
Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go.
My
Let's
mom
take a
used
deep
to go
breath,
to this church,
clear
and the
your
10th
mind,
was the day
forget
she
whoever
passed.
you are, and simply become a person named Jim.
Damn,
I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim. Sleeping
I
and
understand
waking
why
as
people
Jim,
go to church.
falling in love and being heartbroken
for
as
those
Jim,
who are,
seizing all
like,
of the
not the
world's
best.
possibilities as Jim, and as Jim,
I mean, like, there are
watching your
some
dreams crumble
people
into
that,
dust.
like,
do you feel it
January
deeply?
and December
are you really,
hard for
truly
me,
Jim
FR.
right now? If so,
I get that.
then please step forward and press the button.
sometimes it's hard, bro. I mean, like, not even like people passing. It's just like when, I don't know how to explain it. Like, people, there are like ways that people grieve loss. Like, if it's like a friend, like a close friend that doesn't, like, I don't know how to explain it.
Jim. Yes, you see, what a thrill, what a rush. That was you.
Sorry. I'm just trying to like play this game, but so many people experience loss in their own ways. Like, it doesn't even have to be people passing away. It could be like friendships, relationships, whatever the case may be, bro. That's why I always say, like, I'm still like in that position of like grieving of like friendships and stuff, but I gotta move on, bro.
Do it again.
Like, you know, of course people can't move on from like people passing away and stuff. But when it comes to like the
Exactly.
main shit, it's just like, gotta move on, bro. Things are like, yeah, things are tough for me right now. It's just like, I don't know. I kind of wish like things aren't the way it is right now for me, anyways. Of like having, except for you, having nobody to talk to when it comes to like feelings. And do I need to press this button again?
Jim. It hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money.
For a reason.
Let's take
and that
a break
reason
from the
is
Jim
to
button.
like
I'm too emotionally drained from all of this
have
personal
people
validation.
that actually care.
Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much, Jim. I'm putting the Jim button away.
Being alone
Otherwise,
is
soon
hard,
you'll
Isaac,
start to
when
lose
dealing
all
with grief.
sense of who you actually are.
Yeah. Like, I relate to you on the way of like someone passing away. It was my uncle. I remember briefly, like, he used to play Farmville on Facebook, games, whatever, and I used to join on that, but he died of like black lungs because of smoking. And as a kid, like, you don't know how to grieve, or you don't know what like the meaning of like someone passing away is. It's just like you had to tell somebody that they're gone
here's
forever,
something
and
special.
that shit
You
really
remember
hurts.
that broken test trophy that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a
To be honest, like,
technology to
low-key,
simply
I loved
give you the
Farmville and
trophy.
Newville.
Yes.
Yeah.
You see, you'll come to this
So I
lever,
remember
and when you
playing
pull
that.
it, the trophy... Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the trophy is still fully
Bruh,
broken.
this man-
I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at
I mean, you
last
probably
satisfy the
played
hordes
this,
of
so-
ravenous fans all over the
Oh,
world.
you probably
who have
watched
been
videos on this,
uproariously
so
demanding
I'm
this
just gonna
feature.
talk over it.
Gamers, we
To be
hear
honest,
you,
like,
and I promise
it's
it will
hard to
happen.
speak for me anyways. It's why I have TikTok. But like, it kind of sucks that it's getting banned over some bullshit. TikTok was its own way I can express myself. Same with Instagram, but like, families like would not get how I feel. They're gonna tell me to man up or some shit. But yeah, things have been tough for me for the most part. I said I was gonna stream, make content.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Things happen, bro. Like you set your goal, and they can be challenging at times. What the fuck?
Collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Oh shit, let's get the fuck out. Bruh.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
What the fuck you mean, bro?
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
I don't know how...
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
But like,
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
But yeah, like, going back to Lost, like, again, it doesn't have to be someone passing away.
I don't know quite how to say this tactfully.
Oh no,
but it's
I feel like
that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature
I used to
of the
have
hole.
like a friend
Is
that
it a
actually
very
like
deep hole? To be certain,
genuinely cared.
it's an extremely
It is
deep
hard,
hole.
but we got it.
I don't want anyone to say that
Yeah,
it isn't an
we got it.
astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite?
Oh no, I had a friend
that
that
sort of depends on your definition
we used to
of
talk everything
infinity. From
to
one
each other,
perspective, the
like
infinite
how I
is
felt.
merely
Like we
philosophical
looked,
in nature.
like we
It's
just
more of a
laid there talking about
Okay, well,
the future
good
we
for
had,
you. You found
our
the
future we
bottom
had.
of the hole.
You know.
You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely?
Me,
I
bitch.
figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe
I am
you're
here
the
for you,
problem.
man, anytime.
Same
Look,
same
things got
with
a
me
little
too, bro.
heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call
No,
the whole
it's like
mostly
ending on bad terms
Works for
kind of
you?
like
Then
sucks.
go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready. Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more. Oh, for heaven. You see, I was right.
But
The
like
problem is you.
we
The problem is that you
try
like
our best
holes
to
too
suc-
much. Not
we
normal.
try our best
A
to
normal
move
person
on, but
would have
like
said, yep, that's an infinite
it's
hole
tough.
right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above. Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. Gosh,
Nope.
how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter. Well, there it is. How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this
yo,
I just can't
I'm
see this
obsessed with
scratching
holes.
the itch. Oh,
Different kind of holes.
who am I to
My
judge?
fault.
You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on. Is the, teleport button
How you
not
gonna tell me to
working?
teleport and let
You
me
sure?
this shit start working?
Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Try it again. Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley.
Wow.
You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now
I'm
you'll
sorry.
get more time with it
Sorry,
than you could
narrator.
ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole.
But like,
I
yeah,
get to do literally
going back
anything
onto
else.
it, TikTok,
Take
like,
care, Stanley. I hope
again,
you and the hole.
the only reason why it's crazy how the reason why I started TikTok in the first place was to support friends that have it, to support that friend that had it, and now being able to post how I feel and just overall just speak is really amazing. Sometimes you make things to support people, and that can lead to a whole different thing. What the fuck? I was like, I knew this slowly was going down. But like, we do things for reasons, and then that reason can be different to a lot of people. Damn, this game is fucking loud.
This is the story of a man.
But like, again, we do things for reasons, and then when that reason is gone, or when you don't have that reason to do what it is that you made that account for, it's kind of like crazy. Change your perspective. Damn. Yeah, you just like the game says, you gotta change your perspective on things, man. Is this B? Yuck. Not for real. The fuck? Oh, I'm upside down. Ooh. I'm look like the what's that one character? Luca from that one movie? Damn, I'm buff now. Yeah, I'm swole. Oh, that's better.
Stanley? Stanley? Stanley! Oh, good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused
No,
on
you
the
left
hole?
me, bro. Fuck you.
From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodle-pip. Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
The bucket. Give me that.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I am happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true.
Give me the bucket then.
Hold onto the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions
Give me the
of
bucket
the
then,
Stanley
huh?
Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution.
Can I give me the bucket?
Try. Can you feel it?
Yes, I
The
feel
glow
it.
of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
What the hell?
The benefits of the bucket seem to go
Narrator, what you trying to say, my boy?
all this and more.
You're trying
await
to like
you
his?
in
Get
the
down here.
Stanley Parable 2.
Yes, I got the bucket, bro. I got the bucket. Look at me with my bucket.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
People who never lost
All
someone
right.
they
Have you
truly
seen
care
everything
about,
you wanted
wouldn't you
to? Ready
understand?
to move on now?
Yeah. It's like, again, like, the only people that can understand is the people that have experienced it.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come
It's like
together
with this
as one
game, it's
single
talking about how,
coherent video
like,
game, but I can feel it in my soul.
the narrator was
It's
talking
going
about
to-
how, like, bad reviews get, like, of course, like, make the game,
Well,
like,
there's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do
well,
an
I'm trying to,
experiment.
like, think
I'll
of what I was
arrange
gonna
these
say.
new features
Just,
together,
this game was
and
talking
we'll
about,
see
like,
whether or
the
not it
narrator
coheres
saying
into
that
a
bad
meaningful
reviews are, like,
gameplay
bad,
experience.
obviously. But, like, he was looking at the good reviews.
Are you ready? Here it is.
Until you looked at that
I
bad
give
reviews
you
to show that,
The
like,
Stanley Parable 2.
some things need to be changed and stuff. It's either, like,
Well, I mean, there's
stuff
potential
around
here,
you
right?
needs to
It's
change, or,
sort of. Okay, never mind.
like,
Hold on. Let me do a different
you need to
arrangement.
change as a person.
Okay,
But,
yes. This
like,
is
I feel like
much
if you're,
better.
like, a
If you
good
could-
person, a genuine
Here we
person,
go.
you don't need to
Version
change
2.
that. It's just the environment around you. If people
Who am
talk
I
shit
kidding,
about how
Stanley?
nice you are and shit,
This isn't a
then
coherent
that
video
means
game at all.
it's
It's a lot of gags.
the people
And I do
around
very
you.
much
You feel me?
enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I
Obviously,
wanted more than
things
anything to create
change,
a sequel
but
that would
you
capture
remember
all the
it
magic
differently.
Of the first
Like,
game.
you know,
I wanted
like,
fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they
you
wouldn't
know,
stand
like,
on
certain
their
shit,
own.
you know?
They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original.
just like for me,
Maybe
anyways,
that's
like,
it. I can take the
everything, like,
original Stanley Parable and
around my
simply,
place,
well,
like, there
insert
are
a
different,
few of
like,
my new
places
features into it,
that's
tastefully, of
being
course, with respect, with
that's
care
being
for the
made
vision
into,
and
like,
integrity
food
of the original
places.
game.
But like I know exactly what I did in that spot, same exact spot, you know.
Tremendous title screen, a title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction.
Yeah, you probably watch videos on this, so I'm just talking over it.
Parable 2.
But
Let me see if I can whip something up.
Like again, everything's changing, but
go ahead.
At the end of the day, like things may look different, but again, you remember it differently. You remember certain places that got replaced for the other one, like. And that's it. I was so again. I grew up. I was born and raised in San Diego. So like everything slowly starts to change, but again, I knew what I did.
This is the story
before.
Of a man named Stanley.
What places I went to.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple.
Do I still have my bucket?
He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long
and how harsh as it may be.
This is what employee 427 did every
Change
day,
is for the
every
better.
month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one...
That's why I'm also trying to find a job so I can provide for
no one had shown
not
up
just
to give him instructions,
my mom and my family and stuff, but for me as well.
Never in all his years
Because again, when your mom guilt trips you into saying she's not gonna be here forever, really gets you thinking about certain things. Or like, she's not gonna be here forever.
Found himself unable to move for the longest time.
And you just gotta keep going.
But as he came to his
you just gotta take care of yourself for them.
He got up from his desk and stepped out of
Where's
his
my
office.
bucket at?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed it. Stanley picked up the bucket. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
You want me to listen to him?
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy? It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket.
She is telling the truth, but the said
That's
also.
what the broom closet is trying to say here.
Yeah,
it's
also
to go with
gets
the
you
other
thinking.
cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Yeah, I just don't like. It's getting to me to the point where I'm just like, I feel like useless about myself, you know. Again, she's not wrong by any means. It's just like when I'm sitting here doing nothing, it feels like I'm
stepping into his manager's
not
office.
doing.
Stanley was once again
It feels like I'm not doing
to
much.
discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire, if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845.
Fuck.
Stanley just sat around, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation. The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine. Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves. The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
We're fine, bucket, bro. We got this shit.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things he didn't
someone
wish
got
to
fired
do?
over there.
What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket. Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over? Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support, and to... What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped?
No,
Was Stanley
I
and the
want to go
bucket
to the
not
bucket.
about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave.
No!
Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket.
You gay.
No. Stanley can't leave this
No, I
place.
can't
Not
leave
while he
without my
has such
bucket,
a precious
bro.
bucket in his arms. Not while this
I'm
building
not
has
gay,
anything to say
bro. I'm
about
gay
it.
for the bucket.
Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room.
No, I'm kidding.
But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped.
Shit.
Very soon now,
It is okay.
he was about to find out.
I just want to test something real quick. This game is going to take forever. Honestly. Should I finish this game or, like, you probably already know the ending to this shit. We'll find out if it's going to be the same shit. No, I don't have the bucket no more.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed.
Speedrun the shit.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd... Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him?
Beat it.
Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
I'm just speedrunning this because I feel like it's kind of like the same thing but with the bucket in my hands. I don't know why I have my TV set up to the point where it's by the fucking window and the fucking sun is glistening on my fucking face and it's not helping.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that
Me and the bucket are gonna escape.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley
Cheap
and the
viewers
bucket
on
would both meet a
streamgood.com.
violent
Remove
death.
the space LSX58VIE.
The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
I don't need. I mean, you're a viewer, so
Stanley and the bucket
I appreciate it either
walking
way.
forward
But
into a very
I don't
painful
do
death for
viewer
each of them.
botting. I'm not like that. Psych. Now me and the bucket are gonna accept our fates, bro. We're gonna accept our fate. I don't like this. The only thing I don't like about this boom arm shit is the springs, bro. I feel like it's gonna spring on my face, bro. Damn. Show blind.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be.
No,
To be
it's not
sure,
worthless.
It puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket. But what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, The bucket's life came to an end as it was crushed violently to death.
No, not the bucket.
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
I gotta fucking use a bathroom.
Can you see how arrogant it was for...
Hold on, I'll be right back. I gotta use the bathroom, my fucking stomach.
Taking a bathroom break, LOL. KK.
Hello?
Alright, I am back. We're gonna finish this game once and for all.
Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own.
No,
Can you
fuck
see
you,
the hubris
narrator.
that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
Wow, I just got back from taking a shit. No, she got disrespect me. Fuck you, I'm taking my shit back. Damn, the bucket, bro. It's been passed down to generation to generation. I'm trying to save all my photos on my gaming account
and certainly not a
and make it a compilation because fucking TikTok's gonna get banned soon.
Who should kneel before the bucket? But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong. Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world. A new vision.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Should I give the bucket to the fucking,
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy? It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over.
I'm sorry, bucket.
We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point.
Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket, as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it. Okay, I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all. Here we go. There. Now it's settled. No more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, Broom Closet, with all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things. All right, I've got a second sticker back here, and I'm going to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate. You see, I feel that it works because the sticker is also a bucket. That way, if you're ever unsure whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or not, you can look down at this sticker and say to yourself, ah, it's a bucket. There really is a wide variety of applications for this sticker. You know what? I could take the name-calling and the dismissal of your kinship with the bucket, but now the Broom Closet is just giving us the silent treatment. And to be honest, I'm sick of the pettiness on display.
He's giving the bucket,
You can stay here all you like, but I've had it with this impetulant room of cleaning supplies. Easily the most childish such room I've ever been in. I'll see you outside, and we can get on with the story about you and your bucket. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket? This is all terribly wrong. Surely no good would come from this. Who knows what sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket. And indeed, now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd. Now he felt himself...
He's trying to save videos, my TikTok videos, post them on YouTube. Dude, like, honestly, if I'm being honest, like, wow, this is...
I must find it. Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him.
Wow, this is doing a whoop right now. The TikTok ban is bullshit, and Congress already knows that it's bullshit, you know? Like, why you gotta ban an app? If that's the case, you could ban Facebook, Snapchat. Like, what? Why are you banning just TikTok? Like, what?
He had to return to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity.
TikTok is the only app that's getting banned. For what exactly? For getting our data. Like,
was inside of him all along.
They need to fire the old ass bitches in Congress, bro, and fucking get actual people that know what the internet is. That's just me, though. That's just me.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket. Of course he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all his actions,
my bucket.
how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to work.
What the fuck? Damn. With the bucket in her hand? Shit.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room?
Yes.
Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be. No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
said the bucket.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go... Good, said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
There's a spot down there.
Stanley did not question why
I did not
or how
see
this
that.
bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley
I'm
chose
going
not
back
to
for it
think about
later
this
after this.
obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
In here,
said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Now pick up the phone,
said the bucket.
Pick up the...
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend.
Yes, I was.
And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
Wow, this is a good-ass crib. Is there supposed to be some... I don't know if there's supposed to be something else after this. I think I beat the game. I'm not sure if I did.
Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to himself, that's all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it. Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again, not truly alone.
Let me try that part again.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
said the bucket.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done.
Narrator, shut your bitch ass up.
Stanley, God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Expect the unexpected.
Chad B. Wild.
Jalapeno red duck. Jalapeno red duck is red hot. Scorpion pepper sauce. Oh no. Seasoning from hell. Not too much.
I did not know this about this ending. I did not know this about this ending. I didn't even know that was in.
This is day number 295. Tape number... I don't even know. I've lost track. Nothing feels real anymore.
Damn.
The longer I study this bucket,
oh, not the bucket,
the less sense anything makes. The sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up. No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling. And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down. It doesn't make sense. There's no explanation for it. I still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms. Why everything feels so... What do I do with this treasure? I can monetize it. Yes. It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket. This is my golden ticket. But I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get... What's that? Who's there?
Oh shit, what the fuck is going on?
Caporata.
Oh. My man got cooked by the fucking bucket. Oh hell no. Why you gonna end like that?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
The good old bucket. Just Stanley and the bucket. Off on another thrilling adventure together. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. This was not...
I'm doing this ending again, hold on.
But Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
said the bucket.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Good, said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
In here,
said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Now pick up the phone.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
I feel like I'm supposed to do something here. Where my bucket at? Oh. I did not see the fucking bucket there.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head. Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object?
No, there's such a dumbass up. Please?
I don't know if he'll listen to me.
No, me and my bucket, well, I was... Me and my game pull up.
Try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think. It can't talk.
Bitch.
All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else. You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket. This stupid hunk of metal.
I mean, it's not like I'm tired.
It's sad, but I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny
Where my bucket at, cuz?
Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it. Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another. Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket? Oh no, I'm having feelings for the bucket. No.
Ooh.
Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do
Stanley's getting freaky with the bucket.
I don't understand. Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes. The bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation. Stanley, give me the bucket.
Hell nah,
Give me
bitch.
the bucket,
Hell nah.
Stanley.
You
I
ain't taking
need
my
it.
shit.
Give
You
it
ain't
to
taking
me
my
now.
shit,
Give
pussy.
it, or I'll-
You ain't taking my shit. Anyway. Go back to work, Stanley. Damn, bro. This guy took my bucket. Cock blocking my shit.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Where are we going today? The bucket asked. Stanley just smiled. Anywhere they went together would be...
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet, simply because I have no remaining stickers. If I did, you can guarantee we'd be in here for hours. But alas, no stickers.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
I did see this other north here.
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini-stands?
Mini-stands, yup.
What about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
That's fucked up. Honestly, don't know where you're taking us. So that elevator is just useless. So I mean, I've been waiting for you. I've been waiting for the elevator to go up or down for like the past 10 minutes just to find out, bro. Alright, bro.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire now in his darkest of hours. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation. Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines.
I just need two more.
I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figleys. What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness?
I hear voices in my head, they care for me, they understand, they talk to me. Got your rules and your religion, and all the guys to keep you safe. I want more rules and revenge.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. A good bucket, a strong bucket, a humble bucket, a committed bucket, a bucket of culture and distinction. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
This is the only one of these in the world. You gotta do it carefully, because this is the winner's console.
Oh, good Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually.
We care about you, Stanley.
Your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley.
This is supposed to be the
We've
husk?
come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel.
Can you back up?
They want more of their favorite
You can't talk.
jokes.
No,
Not
I don't
this
want to talk
bucket
about
that they've never
about
seen
it.
before.
You're just a
I
bucket
know I'm the
hater,
one who gave you the
narrator.
bucket, but you're spending too much time with it.
No,
Don't you want
fuck
another
you.
story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go
No, I
somewhere
want
new.
me and my
Yes,
bucket.
yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it. Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
Yeah, play some music, man. Hey.
Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue? Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Nah, fuck you, bro.
Yes.
Oh,
It's
you
as
think you're
classic
funny?
now as it was
You think
back
you're funny?
then. Let's
You
do
think
it for the
funny,
fans,
bitch?
Stanley. Let's get them
Nah,
more
I'm keeping
content
my bucket,
exactly like
bitch.
this.
Whether you like it
But
or
if we
not.
want to do
cunt.
that, you're going to have to give something up.
No, you're not gonna tell me to give up my bucket. I'll give up you, narrator. You pissed me off.
Don't
Bitch
you
thought
get
it
it,
was funny.
Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket.
No, bitch.
That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer.
Nope, he ain't getting rid of my bucket.
I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a
yeah, it's not in the original game.
So
Why are you talking shit about my bucket?
It already feels
not being in the original game, but like,
all along.
you're fucking introducing to the bucket destroyer.
Can you guess what the bucket destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
Psych? You ain't telling me to get rid of my bucket, dude.
Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the bucket destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The broom closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and...
Damn. I died with my bucket, bro.
The Bucket Destroyer, my prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
We're not having issues. That's the problem. She's perfect.
Look, man, I gotta get back up in here, bro.
Dog, you won't even talk to me? Just man to man, dog.
Talk to your wife, dog. Just talk to her, bro.
Hey. Hey. I was just thinking about you.
I know why.
Why?
Is there a problem?
Adam, don't eat the cookies! I know. Oh, hey, don't cut, they're gonna bury you, gang!
Fine, I give it the bucket.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a
the embrace of an old friend. A weathered companionship that stands the test of time.
Don't have a stream for 3 hours.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place.
I'll give him the bucket, bitch.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room?
Calm down, calm down.
No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
It's bad. Yeah, it's bad. I have sent most of my stuff back to WWE Archives, actually, because I only wear a lot of
Oh, good, Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually.
Yeah. Oh my God, those shoes, or that hat, or that vest. Red boots. Yeah, or like weird stuff happens where like I had this blue outfit with a blue vest on, and I like.
You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it. Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well. Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
Mike Dignity?
I am lost.
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get
I'm
rid
lost
of the
too.
bucket.
I don't know if it's just...
That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket
Are you
Destroyer.
saying like you lost because of this game? The game is confusing?
I think it'll
or-
make a wonderful new addition to the rich
You just
lore of
lost
the
it, don't
Stanley
know.
Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree? Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does?
It
Surely
destroys
you
the
don't need me to spell
bucket.
it
I
out for
get
you.
it. Let me destroy the bucket.
Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready. Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it
Hello,
knows.
I'm just trying
That is
to.
its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The broom closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be
I'm
clamoring
just
for
trying
after this.
to...
Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do
I'm
it, the
just
fans,
trying
Stanley.
to.
Give the fans what they want. Hurry and...
I was trying to give it the bucket, bro.
The Bucket Destroyer, my prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
In 1948, this woman discovered a code that helped her bend reality. People thought she was a scam artist because she used it to win over 1,000 prizes, including a house. Her name was Helen Hadsell. She had a system called SPEC. Select it, project it, expect it.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley
I
decided
think
to go
I'm
to the
done with
meeting
this
room.
game.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. The bucket made Stanley want to be a better man and a better co-worker. In time, perhaps, he would become both of
No,
those
wait,
things.
'cause
Stanley
if I was
clutched the
done,
bucket tightly to his
so-
chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
There will be a reward for finding them all. Stairs, something to do with stairs somewhere, both red and blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, this is some kind of... Okay, something to do with stairs, so it's probably the stairs.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Oh, there you go.
You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler and Marines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one, and then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them, and now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler and Marines. None of us can.
And then the other one somewhere that's red and blue.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into it, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
I think I'm done with this game.
Even now, Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer, perhaps, and a painting. Was it a painting?
Not everyone is so lucky to have a bucket, but Stanley is a very lucky fellow. Very lucky indeed. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Some were both red and blue.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Oh yeah, I forgot you can go. I'm so stupid.
A soft wind blew outside and perhaps rain started, and if it did, it stopped shortly after.
It takes a lot of humility to carry a bucket so magnificent. Stanley checked his ego and then proceeded onward. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
said the bucket.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yeah, good, said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked. No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, no buckets past this point.
Bruh,
Stanley,
fuck off,
how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket?
Oh
I
my
suppose that would
god.
explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and
Bruh.
so much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
I've been at this shit for 4 hours.
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios,
Bruh.
and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about
I guess I'm
what
not done yet.
is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket? Incorrect.
Bitch,
It is
what?
a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
But it's still a bucket, bitch.
Item 2. Is this a bucket? Correct. It is a 3D printed
It's still
recreation
a
of
bucket, no matter if how if it's printed or not.
Item 3. Is this a bucket? Correct. This is a
Okay,
bucket.
well, fuck you.
Item 4. Is this a bucket?
Is this a bucket? This shit's hard. This shit's hard. I think it's, yes, it's a bucket.
Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor. It's an enormous machine that tills the earth.
Bitch,
This is a
fuck.
gimme. How on earth did you manage to screw it up?
It's a bucket, bruh.
Absolutely
It's a bucket.
Incredible. Let's just
Man, fuck
move
you,
on
fuck
to
you,
the next one.
narrator. Me and my bucket are gonna kick your ass.
Is this a bucket?
Is it a bucket? I'm gonna say no. It isn't.
Incorrect. This is a bucket.
You're right. I failed, bruh. I failed.
Item 6. Is this a bucket? Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
Bruh. Yeah, you tricked me, man.
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere. Okay, you and I both know there isn't anything here. And I don't appreciate the implication that nothing is a bucket when we both clearly know that a bucket is something. And therefore nothing could possibly
bringing that logic, 3D printed fucking buckets and a fucking hologram is still a bucket. Shut your bitch ass up.
Answer me straight, Stanley. Do you believe that nothing is a bucket?
Yes, if you think... If I think holograms and 3D printed buckets are buckets, then it's bucket. Yes, bitch.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out.
I'm too confused. Motherfucker, 3D printed fucking bucket is still a bucket. And a hologram of a bucket is still a bucket because it's a hologram of a bucket.
Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket? Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart.
What relationship,
I can't
bitch?
have that. I'm sorry, but I'm going to erase all buckets from
No!
Okay.
Not the bucket. No, don't erase it. I'm gonna fucking kick your ass.
What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait.
Damn, broke
was
the game, bro.
everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket. Oh my God, I had no idea.
Yes, I was telling you, everything is a
Except
bucket.
me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't
happy
mention
tears.
that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
Oh, hell, I have to be there, bruh.
Wait, Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible?
You know what?
They
I'm
never stopped. Surely I was mistaken. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. It was okay. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Narrator, shut your bitch ass up. Like, we were arguing about
Stanley,
buckets,
I
bro.
think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. What? Really?
Fuck you,
I was in the
cunt.
middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove. And there it is. The last Stiggly Wiggly.
Stiggly Wiggly.
This is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Oh, God.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me.
Bitch, I had no
You
choice,
see that
fucker.
I really have wanted you to be happy all this time. The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you. What do we want? What are we looking for? Here, yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy.
Yeah, I feel happy too,
I
Nathan.
actually feel happy. No, wait. Where are you going? Right. Where were we?
Let's just see what happens.
Oh no! Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this. Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing.
You know what? Since I found Glory of You fucking narrator, I'm gonna go back.
Good, good. We can't be too safe. Promise me you won't go back there, Just stay here. No! What do we talk about? You're risking everything we achieved here. You are going to stay here, aren't you?
I'm just waiting until something interesting happens. I'm just looking at Instagram right now. You know what? Fuck you, narrator. I'm going to jump off and then restart.
You heard me before, didn't you? You will die. What
No.
about this isn't getting through to you?
I would not die from that far. I would just get my ankles broken, no legs. Bye.
No! Oh, thank God. You lived. You had me worried there for a moment. No, what are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to where I was before.
You were
If
you were
die,
talking.
we'll both
No,
go
you were
back.
calling me
Why
fat
are
and
you
ugly,
doing
and I
this?
was addicted to drugs or hookers. You remember that, right? Now I'm taking your happiness away, bitch.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me? Yes, perhaps you can. Perhaps you finally see what I'm talking about.
Nope, sight. You got me fucked up. You got me fucked up.
My God, is this really how much you dislike my game?
No, how much I
That you'll
dislike
throw
you.
yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy.
Why do I need to keep you from being happy? How about me? Huh? How about me, bitch? Huh? 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 You know what? Fuck your happiness.
Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore.
Yeah, you sad bitch.
I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
Looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, listen, do you actually want to stay alive? Or are you just teasing me?
Fine, fucker. But you gotta keep me happy, right? There.
I wanted us to be happy here, Stanley. I really did. I wish I still thought that was possible.
No. Is it too late for me, bro? My fault, gang. Oh, you don't care, bro. I'm sorry. I have to, bro. I have no choice.
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
Girl WTF.
I don't know. I don't know what that was. I think I'm done with the... I think I'm done. I think the game is done. Well, I'm not sure if it's done. But we'll see. We'll see.
Stanley, I'm sorry,
Oh,
but I have to put a pause on things. It's those figurines, those figlets. I haven't
The
stopped thinking
figlets.
about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life? Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness? Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone?
I bet.
I would
Gotcha,
love
gotcha.
nothing more than to revisit the figurines. Just one more time.
When Stanley found the collectibles.
Here's where it all began. The first collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
I grabbed 7.
And here was a second Stan Loreen. You found this one all on your own, just by poking around in the warehouse. You did that, Stanley.
Yes.
I'll be honest. Back then, I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways. Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini Stan? Can you remember?
I think it was here.
No. Behind the boss's office was the 4th place you found a Figanli, not the 3rd. Well, I guess perhaps I shouldn't be surprised. Memories like these are so precious and so cherished that they all just sort of blend together, don't they?
Yeah.
You know what? If the boss's office feels like the 3rd place you found a collectible, then who am I to go making judgments?
Yeah, fuck you, cunt. I still grabbed them either way, right? You dumb hoe.
Let's see. What came next? Oh yes, we found a Figley in this pink room. Oh, well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened. This was the 5th mini Stan, and this one was really something special. It was under the stairs. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy.
Bruh. This is like some old YouTube shit. What's that down there? The 5th mini Stan, or the mini Stan number 5. Everyone's staying along with the mini Stans. Thanks for watching. Credits. Directed by Nerdy. Edited by Nerdy. Music by Nerdy. Starring Stan Lee and the mini Stans.
Doesn't it? I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
Period. Okay, now what? Oh, there you go.
And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here by the red and blue doors. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figley and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike.
Why is there like a random chair here?
Except for the other
is this where they
picking up
butt fuck?
figurines, which it
Or is
was
this where
exactly
the people at the office butt fuck? My fault. Twitch, I'm joking. Don't take it to heart.
And then there was no more. Because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, Memory Zone.
Damn, bro.
No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the Memory Zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels.
Damn, I think we just broke the narrator.
Okay, yes, the room with the red and blue doors. I remember this. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the Memory Zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going, I want more. And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched?
Bruh.
Yes, I love that video. Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room. These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have neutered the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one. This was our second Figley. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going.
Period.
This is it. The very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the Figlarines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else?
My man's addicted.
What came before this? Look, it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then, but time does put a rosy filter on everything. In fact, I dare say I'm... Oh, yes! The two doors! Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one. And before everything else, there was your office. Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office? There's something I feel I can remember. I can remember.
Damn. Is that it?
Yes, I'm remembering something now.
Oh.
I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy. And I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions. He would decide which way to go.
Damn, so I was in the narrator's head the whole time.
Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely?
Yes, you were.
Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I
Damn.
I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again.
As you should.
I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh,
damn,
it truly was so much fun to play with.
Hey, yo, pause.
You know
what you mean by
Since
that?
we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good. I did enjoy telling his story so very much. Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Is it done? Did I beat it? That guy's done. So the narrator made up Stanley in his head. That's kind of...
Hi, Stanley. Just wanted to leave you a message to let you know there's a few things I need you to pick up on your way home from work today. We need milk, cereal, dish soap.
Damn, I think there's no narrator, bro. I think it's done.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly.
I think I'm done with this. So that was Stanley Parable. I honestly
Emoji happy tears.
I
am lost.
Yeah, I'm lost too. I didn't know if I was done or not.
I don't know what was going on.
So I think the narrator, the one that was in our head, was like made up Stanley in his head. So like him saying that it was all in our heads. More like it was on his head. He made up Stanley because he was lonely. I think I got the gist of that. I think that was the ending. You could tell me to keep going, like when that shit happened. But yeah, that was Stanley Parable 2, aka Stanley Parable Ultimate, the Deluxe Edition, aka Stanley Parable 2. I think it took me to like the first Stanley Parable before it gave me to the Ultra Deluxe Edition, which is the second one. But yeah, that was it. I think. I'm not sure. There's endless possibilities. But that was a fun ride. I just want to say thank you all for being here as always. And tomorrow it's gonna be another stream. I was gonna continue at 5, but then I realized that this game gonna take forever. But I just want to say thank you all for being here as always. I love you, and I'll see you either at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, whatever. I might play Call of Duty. So yeah, I'll see you later.